100 for 100. The podcast where I take 100 films. Sorry, my brain just went a little flighty there. I take 100 films, I rank them from 100 to 1 for you. And I come to each with a 100-word review. This is for anyone who's looking at getting into movies. There's thousands of movies out there. And you're like, man, I saw this movie and really liked it. What else is out there? Kind of like it. Well, maybe somewhere here on my list. I'm giving you a good swath of movies. I would like to think I did. I'm sorry, there's only one musical. I'm rambling. Anyways, today, and I put a 100-word review for each one of these movies and the podcast, right? Today gives us number 21 on our list, and I tell you, we're really getting now. We're in the low 20s, my friends. It's late March right now. We're getting to about the third week of March, man. Towards the end. 21. There are three trilogies, I think, on this list. So I kind of cheated, and I gave you more than 100 movies. The Lord of the Rings trilogy was on here. The Vengeance trilogy also made an appearance somewhere. I don't know, maybe in the 70s, something like that, maybe in the 80s. This is the last trilogy that will make its mark on this list, and it is the Three Colors trilogy, 1993 and 1994, and again in 1994. Directed by Krzysztof Kieslowski. Hey, Mr. Kieslowski, if you're listening to this, hopefully I pronounced your name correctly. But also be happy that your films rank so high. So if I pronounce your name incorrectly, don't be too mad about it. Now, let's get into the 100-word review for the Three Colors trilogy. It is as such. Oh, never mind. He died in 96. Sorry. If you're listening up there, big fella, let's talk about your movies. The colors of the French flag, blue, white, and red, serve as inspiration for the color-themed trilogy that centers on the ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity. Three Colors Blue, being considered an anti-tragedy, explores the aftermath of a woman who loses her family in a car accident. Three Colors White, an anti-comedy, follows a man in search of revenge against a conniving ex-wife. And Three Colors Red dissects the power of interconnectivity and interpersonal relationships through the lens of an anti-romance. Not just an example of a great foreign film trilogy, but an incredibly clever and moving trilogy overall. Man, I don't even know where to start with this whole bit of business. Look, Three Colors Blue. So, of course, if you're going to name a movie after a color, that color is going to feature somewhat prominently in each one of these. But Kieslowski is smart enough to not have that color overbear. It's just enough that you notice, oh, okay, there's a good bit of blue running throughout this movie. There's a good bit of red running throughout this movie. Yeah, he doesn't beat it over the audience's head. It's subtle enough that it's just outside of your perception. You're like, oh, okay, good bit of blue in this movie. Blue. We have a tragedy happen. A car accident which takes the life of a woman's husband and child, which horrible, right? Horrible circumstances, until she kind of realizes that she now has no ties or attachments. This tragedy came with a certain liberation, and now she is free to kind of live her life in a direction that she now chooses to go. And that's a good bit of what this movie is about. If you have the Criterion streaming service, all three of these movies are on the Criterion streaming service, by the way, and all three of these movies are excellent. And if you are a fan of films the Criterion puts out, but they're a little bit too expensive, wait for the next flash sale. One just happened a couple of days ago, which gives you a bit of insight as to when this was recorded. Next flash sale, make sure you pick up this Three Colors trilogy. Do yourself a favor. Three Colors White being a bit of a comedy about a woman who kind of screws a man out of his livelihood, and his journey of ridiculous revenge is kind of what this movie's about, but not like your Kill Bill, Lady Snowblood, bloody revenge. But they say the best revenge is living a good life, and that's pretty much what it is. This woman connives this dude down to the lint in his pockets, He's outside of his own country, has to smuggle a way to get back in, and then just slowly and steadily begins building an empire. And it's just a wonderfully sweet, goofy movie to watch, and I loved every bit of it. And Three Colors Red is a bit of anti-romance, and you see a couple of different romances from a couple different people, and how all of those romances, those people kind of intersect and mingle throughout each other's lives. Even if their stories in particular don't exactly cross over, they do. All to the point where at the very end, this is almost like, hey, this might be the first example of a cinematic universe, now that I think about it. From what is this, the early 90s? So it's happened around about when Clerks is happening. At the end of this movie, a bunch of characters go on a ferry. An accident happens on this ferry, and then you see on the news they're talking about some of the survivors of the accident on this ferry, and it's some of the people in the film Three Colors Red. It is a person from Three Colors White, and it is the main woman from Three Colors Blue. She came back to film a little bit of footage there. So this might be your early example of the French. Actually, no, he's Polish. Those fucking Polish beat us to it. You skis. Yeah, check it out. This ranks high on the list for a reason. All three are incredibly well done. I consider this art house cinema, but this is great art house cinema at its finest. Number 21 on this list, the Three Colors Trilogy.